Yes, but what are you doing? What do you want? Oh, come here. Why don't you blow your nose? Huh? Yeah, blow your nose. And wash your hands. Yeah. And wash your hands and wash your face. Yeah. Blow again. Blow again. Okay. You're going to wash your hands and your face. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Just going to go over Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a whole bunch of alts, and look for opportunities to join or make a trade. It's been a while, guys. Yep, apologies for that. Purely because let me see if I got the microphone default 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's working. Apologize for not being around for a while. Pretty much trying to get over a few things in my personal life, and I'm trying to get back into it, get back to work, and so be it. I'm working. You go upstairs with your mum. Okay, so let's just go through a whole bunch of charts. Let's start with Bitcoin. My perception of Bitcoin at this point. That's my chart. You can look at it from a small time frame perspective. So the upward momentum still there. So we've got 33,700, and this red line is pretty much my resistance zone, short-term resistance zone, and let's do a Fibonacci on that. So yeah, so the 382, roughly that band there, we should expect a bit of a resistance in that zone there with the 382 Fibonacci level as well. So that makes sense. If you drag this across, you can see that. So I do see that as a difficult area to pass. Looking at the formation of this structure, we can see that it's a descending triangle or a wedge in a way, and we have broken that resistance zone and so on. So it is not easy to say what it will do in a short time because we have approached resistance, and it's been a significant area for some time. And looking at the indicators at the moment, we've got upward momentum on the 4-hour chart. So I do see it potentially could go up to the 0.5 Fibonacci level, which is also another key resistance zone. As you can see, previous times over here, we've been resistance. So this can go up to 0.5, and if we're lucky, to 36. If we were to get to that 36, that is one of the main milestones. And then I do see price pulling back. Um, the fact that we're up to this level, if we were to revisit the 30,000 zone at this point, I would say that we'll break the 30,000 zone and go down. So we don't want to see this come down and retest this red area or the formation, because that will be bearish. So now I do see this. So in terms of trading an opportunity, I do want to see it come back down to this area and going for a trade. Good, thanks, Dave. Um, so I do see this area. So if you haven't jumped in, be patient. We need to jump in in a pullback. So what we want to see is a trend. So we have a bounce. If you haven't bought the dip, so be it. Don't panic in and jump in. Wait for the pullback, because if you look at the chart, there's in these two key areas there will be a pullback, and that's when you will look for going long. Um, so if you were to buy here, like I did buy in this area. I was lucky enough with two leverage points, so I was lucky. Um, and I have been accumulating. I've got a bit more money left over, and that's pretty much going to be decided on what I see moving forward. So I'm 80%, was it 70% in, or 70, 80% in with my funds, and I'm just going to keep trading, and I'm going to look for the right opportunities to put the 100% in. From a what is it? From a hodl perspective, and then I got my other strategy, which is with just cash, which just goes in and out with buying and selling, and that will be based on the trend. So we don't have a trend at the moment. All we're doing right now is trading the formation. So we have a big formation that's pretty much been broken out, and Ethereum is no different. And you will notice that a lot of the alts are the same as well. So with that strategy, I will be trading this formation until we have a decisive move, which is passing this 36,600 range. Once we get that, and I believe, let me see, what was it on the day? Was it a weekly? I'll have a look at the weekly. Give me a sec. On the weekly, I'll be looking for a few indicators to go majorly long. And at this point, just give me a sec, and I'll add these uh, moving averages as well. Give me a sec. Let's add these on. Just looking at the indicators, you can see how they haven't quite turned on the weekly. So what we want to see is this actually coming above. So what is it around here? You've got this crossover, which is a nice bullish momentum going along. So we're probably, I believe, we're going to go high. And I've spoken about it many times before, but we have no confirmation. So confirmation is what we're after, to go really high in leverage or leverage. So let's see how we're doing with the 20 moving average, because that's going to be on the weekly. We want to see that being broken. So we've got the 10. That's the 10 moving average that hasn't been broken. And we want to look at the 20 weekly moving average. And I'll just make that a different color. So you can see that that's got a long way to go back into a bull run. I would not rely on this 20 moving average as I would see as a major resistance as it comes down. So while we range, so we had, remember I was talking about how long this range can go based on the distribution period. I was saying something like roughly about the same. So we still got a bit more, I believe, sideways momentum till mid-August. So then we might have an idea what's going on. So at this point, we don't, like if you look at this, it's a nice bullish candle in the cradle for the weekly. It needs to close this week like that. And if we were to break this key level of 36, what is that one? That is 34,000. Okay, that's not the one I was after. Let's go back to the daily. So we want to see we break this 10 moving average, and So so I have the 36,000, this range as the major level of resistance. As long as we are below it, we can just look at a bottoming formation. Oh, these for AXX. I'll get to that. I'm going to cover a whole bunch of altcoins as well, so just bear with me. So we can see just from looking at the daily, we've got this break, which is a bullish move. And so what we'll expect is price, come on, baby. We expect price to find resistance in this pocket here. Yep. So that area is going to be a major resistance area. I'm going to get annoyed with my little daughter. Oh, okay. So this is my where I think price is going to be rejected. If we go above it, then that's a real bullish sign, and I would imagine that that's a daily high. So you can see that if we break the daily high and get a new high, then that is a change in trend, and therefore you will see a lot of big money coming back in. At this point, there is no confirmation that we have a change in the trend. This is the lower low. We have another lower low on the daily. This is the high, and so we want to see this high broken to see a change in trend. So if we were to do that, that is a change in trend, and then it will likely go that way. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. This is a good strong move. Maybe it will go down and then look for that pocket to be a buying position. So right now, if you should have bought the dips around these areas. If you haven't, be patient, wait for the pullback, and the pullback will be based on the Fibonacci at the time. And let's worry about it when the time comes. But right now, I will not jump into Bitcoin. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense from a strategy perspective. Okay, now what we have Ethereum. So Ethereum pretty much shadows Bitcoin in a different perspective. And you can see that with Ethereum, we haven't broken the structure as Bitcoin has. So Ethereum can possibly come back down. I see this pocket as a resistance level. Oh, come on. Why am I slow? Just freeing up some resources. Give me a sec. Must be because of the live streaming. Come on. Okay. So we can see the RSI on the Ethereum on the 4-hourly is way overextended. So I do see price being finding this area as resistance, and even if it was to break it, so what I expect in this pocket, a bit of a pullback, potentially to this support level, and then breakout, and that fits into our if that's our impulse formation. This is a nice, good potential to buy the breakout or just before it. So that could be your last area of buying in. And if we were to go down further down, well, obviously, then this is not going to be good. And if we were to retouch this, similar to Bitcoin, if we were to retouch this area, we are going down because we've touched it a few times already. And anytime we touch the bottom more often, then that will give way. At this point, on the 4-hour, the RSI is overextended. It might be possible that it just gets another move to the upside and then find resistance, retest. And so if we want to wait for a pullback either it's going to be here, or it's going to be finding resistance at this main resistance band and pull back and hopefully find support on that trend line, and then up it goes. So with the RSI at the moment, it does show that we are overextended. It could potentially go a bit more to reach this level and then find resistance and find the reason why this trend line is going to be retested, and then that will be the perfect opportunity to jump back in. So that's what my thoughts are on Ethereum at this point. Let's see. And the structure, so if this is our structure, based on this structure, if that is our point B, I would use this level potentially. Based on this structure, I would apply it to this level where it breaks out. Wherever, if it's breaking out here, that's the case, or over there. So we could see Ethereum going up to the 3,000 range, and that's a pretty good move before it pulls back again. But that's, and if we also break down, it will be the opposite, wouldn't it? It will go down, and it could go down to the 700s, and even more. I think it will be a capitulation, really, a massive drop, and that area will be a good place to buy if we were to revisit this bottom area again. So we need to see what happens to Bitcoin, and therefore plan with Ethereum. But at this point, if I was to imagine that we are bullish, and I am bullish at this point, it could probably, it's almost that level, almost meets that level based on this structure, but it could be actually to the 3.618 level as well. So that makes sense. Okay, so we could have another nice good rally, and based on, but we need to wait and see anyway. So I'm waffling on. So let me look at Link at this point, since this is my Link chart and I've chucked on Ethereum. So let's look at Link. Where are we? Just add. So obviously I got the bigger picture some time back. My thoughts, these are my thoughts with the waves. Let me look at the weekly and I'll give you an understanding on what I'm thinking of Link. So very similar to Bitcoin and the Elliott wave theory. This is obviously a scenario I spoke about before. I don't think that's the case. I think this is what's happened. And potentially wave 4 is pretty much, that was the bottom pretty much for wave 4, unless we go into a bear market. So that is my hypothesis at this point on the macro on Ethereum. Link. And now let's look at a closer picture on the 4-hour. And let's get the RSI out. Let's see what it's telling us. So yeah, pretty extended as well. RSI is pretty high as well on this. And you can see that this prior level that was support is acting as resistance at this point. So Link did drop a fair bit. So what it's finding is a bit of resistance at this level. And let's just jump into it. So we had this ascending wedge. Now we can see that there was free moves to find the bottom. So that's the other one. That's the major one. can say that that's it there. So that's one. So what we have, price coming down, that's one bounce. Second bounce, and potentially third bounce. So give me a sec. Okay, then we go to a triangle pretty much, or a wedge. So that's three cycles in there. And we can say similar to Bitcoin and so on, that we can potentially have our A, B, C, D, E in that space. So if that's our A, B, C, D, and E, and we're going to look for an entry. So if this doesn't break, if it breaks it, great. Or otherwise, we're going to look for an entry in that space, this level of support, I would say. So if price was to come back down here, based on this resistance, because we have this trend line pretty much confirming 2 points. This is going to be our third, and if it does turn out to be a resistance, then we're going to look for an entry in this range, this pocket, potentially for a breakout. If it comes back down, then it could be a double bottom. It's not as bullish as Ethereum, but this bounce is a good bounce. I would wait for a breakout. This area looks like a strong apex. See that this level here, which is equivalent to the fib, could be a resistance, and then we can see a pullback as well. So let's see where that comes from. Okay, I don't have my lines there, do I? It doesn't come to the right. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Really to the far left. Okay. Let's just drag that in. So that does look like so let's just get rid of this one. So we can imagine, I'll hide this one as well. So we can see a descending wedge. And on the daily, if we were to look at it, you can see what I would like to see is these two moving averages cross over, as well as this level, this line being broken. Actually, let's have a look at that. Every not touch seems to be moving on its own. All right, so if we just highlight this one in a dark color, pick a color, it's actually not a bad line. So if we use the body of the candles, it's actually broken then, isn't it, on the daily? So it's interesting. On the 4 hour, let's look on the 4 hour now. Let's get rid of all that. So on the 4 hour, so the daily looks good. So what I'm seeing now, that was a daily line with the body of the candle. I could see that if we touch the wicks potentially, so that's on the 4 hour, it's a bit more accurate. So we haven't quite broken it yet. So I always have two lines. One's the daily candle, the bottom of the candles. Sound isn't as good. Okay, sorry guys. You know why it sounds not good? Because the mic wasn't on me. Dropped off. Okay, still got to punch the clock tomorrow. 12 a.m. Got to get up to working till I should see you guys in the morning. All right, good luck, mate. I understand. Here it's 3 p.m. on a Saturday, so that's why I'm doing it. How's that sound, Dave? Yeah, I didn't realize the mic was dropped. All right, here we go. So this could potentially be a smaller wedge. What we want to see is we want to see this. If it does come to the downside, find a resistance of some sort, then it's going to give us a reason why. If it breaks through this, it will give us a reason why it's going to touch this level and then potentially go up. Okay, so we want to keep an eye on this. As I said, if you buy here, it's not good, right? Because it's going to retest it at one stage. You look at all the other scenarios, it's always getting retested. So just be patient. I do have Link from a while ago, so I'm just going along with that. I could have bought it more cheap, but I'm looking at other coins as well. So let's look at the coins that are much more return on investment. So give me a sec. Let's see. Do you guys are AXS? All right, let's look at that. In my on my channel, I actually talked about that. So it's actually playing out to my fib levels actually. So looking at that. So this was a broadening wedge that was broken. Got this descending wedge. So this broadening fan. So we had this broadening fan. This might come into play. Let's see. Okay. It might act as a resistance at this point. And this was the bottom part. Okay. So once we break that level, you can see how it just dropped below. Find resistance. So on the 1 hour chart, at this point, I'm using the 10-20 moving average on the 1 hour. I do see this becoming a resistance now, and that candle just pretty much confirmed it. So what we had was an accelerated move to this fib level. These are usually ones that are acting as resistance, and the fib extension of 1 is trying to act support. So we'll need to wait and see what happens. I like to see a formation. So if that's, I like to see a formation either underneath it or above it. If it stays above it, around here, if it stays above, then we'll potentially try to go up again, and then I'll make a small trade there. But at this point, I think it's done. So the fact that it hit almost 1.414 extension. So how do I work that out? Where is it? I use that pivot point. So I use that pivot point to that point, and down here as well. So that was my fib extension on the macro level, and these two were the deciding ones to give a rejection. So I do see this price coming back down and finding support somewhere around there. Even probably to this level here. Yeah, because this is a very aggressive move. I could be wrong. It might go for the 1.618. Okay. At this point, I want to see a structure. I want to see a bullish structure take place before it goes up. So if we get a formation of a triangle type of thing, and we're having lower highs, sorry, higher lows, then I'll be looking for the move to jump in, and it can potentially hit this 1.618. At the moment, we didn't get there, so it might have a bit more to go, and let's see how it plays out in this space. So I would have taken, if I were you, if I did buy this, I would have taken some profit here. And it's always good to do fib extensions from different perspectives. These were the two other opportunities to jump in on the 1 hour chart. right now, if I was to pull this to the side, let me see. Let's see if I got the Mac. Yep. So bearish divergence. Yep. So we have bearish divergence playing out. So I do see it's struggling to go any higher. So let's get rid of this one. The MACD is not bad actually, but I don't think the 1 hour is going to play. I reckon the 4 hour is going to come into play. So let's look at the 4 hour. The 4 hours dropped. MACD is all right. This doesn't look good. So this found basically it's flatlined. And unless you see a turn on the 4 hour, I think this is going to come down. Just looking at this. RSI is overextended as well. And the MACD looks good, as if it's going to continue on, but it's really high as well. So yeah, I would have taken some percentage there. Here, it seems like the 1 is acting as support at the moment, so just bear with us. BTC has a triangle structure and now in a lower time frame structure. Okay, BTC. So here's my other BTC chart. You can see how the RSI, this one is on the 1 hour. You can see how the RSI on the 1 hour helped us out. So as soon as we break that level, so it does match price. So we had this formation, and that was a good opportunity to buy in. Yep, on the 1 hour. So that was a nice breakout. And now what you can see is pretty much resistance, strong resistance actually, based on the candle, the 1 hour candlesticks at this point. It does show us that we find resistance. The RSI is pretty much overextended as well on the 1 hour. So at this point, I would think it will go, it might find this orange line, orange band as support. Yeah, because that used to be in the past a strong resistance level, resistance here, support and resistance. So I do see this going back to about 33, 32, high 32,000. Yeah. So if it comes to Bitcoin, I do see it coming down. Let's see, from here. That's low. Okay. Yeah, so that could be a nice level there. Let's see what else people saying. Okay. 5 and okay, 5:15 minute, right. Yeah, I want to look at that to make any decisions at this point. I'll just look at this fib level, and the 0.382 is a nice area for it to pull back. This is a bull flag, right? This can be a second bull flag or a reversal. I can see here I got the 1 and I got the 1.618. This is resistance, that's for sure. Let's see, what have I got? I'll leave that there. No. So let me just save this and I'm going to close it. Okay. Come on, baby. You can see my my charts very, very detailed, and these trend lines, these lines, these purple lines, are playing exactly the way they're supposed to be. They're being respected, and the fact that we had this last drop to a previous support level, and you can see that's a nice reversal pattern. That is a strong move. So, but then again, in the past we had a strong move, but this descending triangle or descending wedge is really bullish. So I am bullish at this point. And looking at this fib level, let me just add my extra details in there. Here we go, that one there. Oh, come on. I'm having delay effects, guys. Sorry about that. So it must be the 414. Yeah, there you go. The 414 is playing resistance at this point. Right there, 33,600. So that makes sense. If I was to just slightly improve this line, it'll be perfectly the 414. And where do I get this? There you go. So I've got the perfect resistance level. So the 414 or the 1414 is acting as resistance, and I do see it coming down, back down, and testing one of these lines. I'll just save that. I'm going to close it. I don't know what it is, but my PC is running. Oh, CPU's, no, CPU's all right. Not sure why it's slow. Okay, we've talked about, so this might be actually a good shorting opportunity as well. So guys might think of shorting this. Looking at this chart on the 4 hour, if these two candlesticks close the way they are, that will be a nice shorting opportunity as well for the downside, because this was a strong move, strong wick pullback back under this major resistance with a bearish candle combination on under resistance is actually a good shorting opportunity. I wouldn't short too much, but there is an opportunity to short there. But let this candle close. Still another 2.5 hours, so no rush in that perspective. Actually, what no one told me about the this bug. I should have got rid of it. Okay, all right. So let's close that. I don't want to have too many things open. Talked about Ethereum, and it's finding resistance still there, so that's good. Yep, so that's consistent. I'm going to close that one as well. Now let's look at, so I had this spewing about this one because I don't know when was this. This was done on the 19th, and I did see a cup and handle, and I was looking at this the other day, and I could see that the handle was, so you can see the handle actually complete, and there was a breakout, and now we can see JVC, where is it? Okay, that's my other, I'll go, okay. What was it again? JUV, what am I doing? JUV, BTC. That was a real good opportunity, and I'm spewing I didn't get that. There you go, the cup and handle. And you can see it's hit its mark on the 1.272 level. So that was a good opportunity. And anyway, sometimes you got to pay attention to the charts at the right time. Moving forward, not sure what that's going to do, because you can see it historically. So that was a bottoming effect. It could probably go to the 1.618. So look, have a look at this. It's if it holds. Actually, let's see. It is. I do think it's a bull flag of some sort. Right now, could be doing that. Let's see how it holds at this. So what we want to see is it hold from a Bitcoin perspective. It holds this level. So what we want to see, maybe it's an 8-hour chart. Let's see. Yep. So I'll use the 8-hour chart. Wait for. Let me see. It's the 4-hour. Yeah, the 4-hour. Sorry. And there is downward momentum at this point, so no need to look at that. But there's an area of interest, that level and that level here, 2 areas of interest for potential move to come back in. That looks like a bull flag in the making. But at this point, there was downward momentum, so give it a few days. All right, so that's let's look at a few of my listed items. Unless you guys have something for me to look at. Let's look for opportunities, huh? So I'm going to go through the charts. Which ones? Dot. Let's have a look at dot. Okay, so dot, that was actually a good spot to buy. Yep, so dot sort of stopped in its tracks. And based on this line, I can see why it stopped in its tracks. So dot, if you want to jump into dot and you haven't done so, I would look for the breakout on that line there. So ever so slightly, it's going sideways. Yeah, so if it revisits this spot again, it might just consolidate under this triangle. And if what we want to see is it's undecided really, right at this point. That's a bit weird. So 4-hour, one big candle, undecided candle, undecided candle. But the momentum is still up. So, but you can see here, if I look at this level here, this is a strong resistance level. Here, right there, that was another resistance level. So it's wicking in and out of there. So it might just, even if it does break this, it might just do that before it keeps going up, or retest and then back up. So I will stay away from dot for the time being. And dot had this line as well, so it had two lines. Yeah, I'll just wait for it to give us a clear indication. At the moment, it's not. EGLD. Let's have a look at that. AGLT's all right. You can see that's got a nice formation. I would use that. Yep, no trading opportunity there. The trend's not the best, so I'll skip that. Let's go through all these buggers. Let's have a quick look. Inch head. Let's look at the 1 hour. Okay. So let's look at, nothing really there to trade against Bitcoin. Nothing there at this point. If that was the top, so it's finding the 0.5 as a bit of a resistance. If I was just to make it up, let's see if I use a top. Okay, so you can see why it's finding resistance. But I would think this will be the main resistance there, not the fib level. But anyway, right now, it's going to go sideways from that perspective. There's no trend on the, let's say on the 3 hour. Yeah, so it's finding resistance. That's not a good entry. Let's look at AVE. AVE did a nice move. So there was a bullish candle there, 2 bullish candles. So AVE has a bit of momentum going, but the MACD on this 4 hours not the best, 3 hours not the best. Let's look at the 4 hour. Okay. So I think there's a lot of indecision in that space with these alts. Can you have a look at Dash? Seems like it's consolidating. Okay. So yeah, Dash is a bit better. It does look better. So you can see ever so slightly. Now what we need to do is pick the right time frame. Looking at a MACD, it's not the best. So 4 hours not working for us. This was a good form structure. Come on, what's going on? Oh God. Something's running my PC flat out and I don't know what it is. Running out of memory for some reason. Come on, you crap. How's that? Maybe that will be the one. Close a few more. Can you hear me, guys? Can you look at the dash? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my machine. I might just stop and no, cancel. Do not do that. Yeah, far out. All right, let's see my PC again. 61% memory should be all right. I'm not sure what's eating it away. All right, let's have a look. Just bear patient with me, guys. I'm just trying to fix up some issues here. Okay, that might be enough. All right, let's get back into it. So looking at dash, very hard to figure out what it's doing. It's not giving us a consistent formation. So you can look at this, right? So it's done this. So it's broken down from this formation, and then now it's trying to break above it again. So that is probably a bullish sign, but it's finding resistance here at this point. I think that's a bull flag. So if I would wait for the 4 hour, see the 4 hour. Yeah, I want to see what happens with this in the next 2 hours with this candle. So we had this bull nice bounce, but it's finding resistance for whatever reason. So right there, got a wick there. Yeah, it's finding this area as a strong resistance level. If we go across, it doesn't give us why really. Actually, there is one. Yeah, that could be the reason. Yeah, I would have thought it'd been a bit higher. So that would have been, that's a nice resistance level. I wouldn't jump in for that little, if you haven't done it, I wouldn't jump in for that little gain. It's so close to the resistance, this level. It must be something else that's really causing. Okay, that might be it. So consolidation under this trend line. Yeah, so that would be the reason why it's not going anywhere. There might be two levels to this. Remember, I always use two. There's always two. So that could be it there. This level layer is acting as strong resistance. Oh, it's going to use it as pretty much a testing board. So I would say that looks good. Just give it another 4 hours and see how this candle turns out on dash. Where we got CRV. Actually, CRV looks all right as well. So a lot of the alts are building up for that final break. So they're all at a key resistance level. The MACD, I mean the RSI is at a resistance level as well. So this is, yeah, so this one is also playing one of those roles as well. So all come, I think a lot of the alts have come to a resistance point. Nothing there. Dodge has done crap, hasn't it? So it's broken that. Oh, Dodge has broken that main level, and it looks, yeah, Dodge looks all right. It's holding that level. It's pretty flat. The RSI is not going to help us. MACD is not going to help us. Just the structure. Yeah, so if you haven't bought that in, so I had this ages ago. I looked at Dodge for a while. As you can see, fib extension of 2 was pretty much the support level. But you can see how, even though it broke this level, this line, it didn't really do much. Like it did a great, like it did a good move, and now it's just consolidating, just not doing anything, undecided. Dot pretty much is the same, I think. Yep, we covered dot. So looking at dot, so we've got a what sell signal for Bitcoin. Where's my chart? Yeah, that doesn't help. So I'm going to get rid of that chart. Alerts. Can't even get the alerts. There we go. So Bitcoin sell. Okay. So we've got a bit of a short time period for Bitcoin to sell. Yeah, that resistance is there, as you can see. This line is pretty much running out momentum, coming to the real top of the line. So it's gonna, no one's gonna jump in at this stage. So I do see it pulling back, and yeah. So what we're having now is a few alerts on my left, on my right, sorry, on a small time frame with my metrics pretty much saying sell, sell, sell. So short time period, there's a few signals that say sell. So that's Matic. That looks like on the 15-minute. You can see that level is pretty much resistance. So Matic's not going anywhere soon. Although that was a weird formation there, isn't it? So that's weird. Not sure what that's going to do. And we've got a moving average here that's going right across it. And because it's the weekly moving average, it's not finished. So if we do that, continue, that looks like the moving average was playing resistance, now could potentially play support. Which one is that? That's the 10? No, that's the 20. So that's the 20 weekly moving average, just broken on the weekly and for the Matic. And that could be a good signal where it might just hold above the 20 moving average. So it was acting as a resistance, dipped, came back up. So that's a key level for Matic. Doesn't give you confidence, but you can see how that really struggled, and it did break it, came down, retested, went back up again. So I would say, from a Matic perspective, I will just move this level up a bit. It's a breakout trade, so if it breaks this line, I would jump in. So it's second touch. So Matic is gone. So it's done a 1 rejection, 2 rejections. We're getting lower highs. Sorry, higher lows. So we're getting this, we've got that, and we're finding support here. So I just see this area being a consolidation, and before it breaks up, yeah, you can see that. So Matic is looking pretty good. I think it capitulated a fair bit here, so that's a nasty. That was a nice move to the upside. So how much is that? From there to there, that's 50% move since 21st of July. So yeah, the real drop was a good opportunity to buy there. ADA, let's see what ADA's doing. ADA's pretty much similar, isn't it? Very similar to Matic. So if you panicked and sold there, it just goes to show you your stuff up. That's pretty much the breakdown of this formation, and that's why it went down. Reversal pattern. It's coming back to this. This level is a apex, and we break down from there. Hold on. Come on. No, I'm not joining. Sorry guys, I'm going to cut it short. My computer is crap. I need to restart my computer. Apologies. It's just not responding. Can't do anything. So I'm going to kill it here, guys. Sorry for that. You've been patient with me. I'm going to restart my machine and then start again. So I might come back online towards the evening. If you can bear with me, what I'll do is I'll go through a number of charts shortlisted, and then I'll tell you which ones to buy, because this is frustrating for me at this moment. I need to restart my PC, which I haven't done for a few weeks. So let's leave it here and come back in the evening, a few hours from now, and I'll bring my shortlist.